Dearest mother. Dearest father.
So yeah, many years later.
This letter will be the very last that I write to you from the Rising Stones.
Yeah, everything's in black and white.
As I commit these words to parchment, I fondly recall my journey as a scion.
Hey there, everyone.
From the time I first walked into the Order's former halls, to the time I set forth to forestall the final days.
And what do you mean, former halls?
At the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, we fought the battle of our lives. Fought against despair
what a grin.
itself. A veritable maelstrom of it, fed by the resignation that dwelled in the hearts of beings not so unlike ourselves. Full oft have I harbored the same malaise. Have I been brought to my
You
knees,
suck!
crushed by the weight of sorrow and
Not you,
defeat,
Alion. You're in the good graces.
convinced that I will never rise
So, you too,
again.
Real.
However, I have also known many moments of unbridled joy and happiness.
Yeah, that was always my favorite Ishtola outfit. I always liked her in the white coat.
By this truth do I find
But
hope
out of
within,
seeing that brown coat, not a chance.
blooming resplendent, like the Elpis flower. And thus do I endure.
Hi, Philemon.
Do I look forward to creating more memories with my friends and loved ones.
Yeah.
For from these fertile seeds, yet more hope shall spring forth.
We're back. My fellow Keeper of the Moon.
And they will grow to become shining lights that illuminate the dark. Thus believing, I leave the Rising Stones behind, as will my comrades.
Oh no. Don't you still have
For,
things to do?
as we have decided, after careful deliberation, we are disbanding the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
No! What's gonna happen to all my friends? Well, I guess we'll find out what happens to them.
Alphino.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out what happens to them in their future lives. Hi, Tataru.
Everyone is already gathered in the foyer.
My apologies. I'll be right there.
But yeah, what are y'all gonna do now? I mean, we beat the biggest bad that could possibly be beaten. But that shouldn't
At
mean your
least-
work should still be done.
That is what the story will be.
What do you mean by that? Yes, we're all here for the joyous reunion. The Scions, Alion, Riol, Hori and Coltene, and a whole bunch of others. Philemon, and there's Alphanode and Tataru.
Sorry to keep you all waiting.
What could you possibly have left to do now?
Oh, just a letter.
I imagine it will be a while before we can gather like this again.
So it must be, if we're to keep up appearances. From now on, it falls to the Grand Company of Eorzea and its allies to deal with the realm's crises.
Meanwhile, we shall return to our erstwhile ways.
What do you intend to do?
Retreating from plain sight to take our place in the shadows once more.
Yeah, I guess you gotta... Because, yeah, you originally were trying to keep a low profile in the beginning.
Indeed. For the foreseeable future, I expect that we must work independently as we seek out problems that want for solving. But a day will come when we face another great challenge, and we will face it together, as we always have.
Yeah, they're all pumped up for that.
As much as I look forward to that day, I do hope it doesn't come anytime soon.
Well, formal association or no, if any of you should require my services, you need but ask.
I'm so glad we get to hear that, mon frere. Thank you.
I'll be glad to keep my lance arm honed.
I'll hold you to that. So you had better keep your link pearl on hand.
So you really mean to stay, Tataru?
I thought she was running a business now, and Shirley.
Oh, someone has to keep the Rising Stones in proper order. And even a super secret organization requires a super secret base of operations.
Plus,
To the rest of the world, it will be naught more than a workshop for Eorzea's foremost up-and-coming artisan.
well, at least you finally found your calling.
If you thought our coffers were full to bursting before, just wait till I can devote myself wholly to the crafts.
Plotting to build a mercantile empire to rival that of Lord Lodorito, are we?
Well, hopefully with not such a big head.
I, for one, look forward to your future successes, Tataru. As do I our next meeting.
Back to the Crystal Tower for you then, Graha? Back to going into perpetual slumber?
And with that, I believe it is past time you all made ready to depart. Leave no preparations undone or words unsaid, all right? Now, off with you.
And there go all of our friends. Yeah, and as for Rika, big smile on her face. Speak with your comrades. There are 8 of them. Well, first of all, do you mind if I get out of this armor? Yeah, I mean, we really need to get out of the armor. We've been wearing this for a long time, but it feels good to be back in a kimono again. We'll leave you guys for the end. We'll go clockwise. Starting with Alice. Rika, seen to your preparations, have you? I'm just making another sweep of my belongings. Wouldn't do to find that I've forgotten something halfway to my destination. Oh, in case you hadn't heard, we received new reports detailing the devastation caused by the final days. And how bad was it? It appears the situation is gravest in the lands surrounding the Bounty, where the sky first began to burn. After that, the calamity is observed in the far north, in Garlemald and the frozen lands beyond. We also had reports of the heavens catching fire in isolated locations, one of which was an area in the northern Empty. Had our quest taken any longer, Charlie and Sue may have come under threat. Yeah, I'm amazed the way we were able to keep the damage to that small of an amount. Thank goodness it's over now. To be sure, blasphemies and lesser beasts may still be roaming about, but these localized crises should be well within the capacities of each nation to handle on their own. The scions are no longer needed. Which isn't to say that we won't help out where we can, of course. As individuals, no more of this order business. For my part, I'll be heading to Garlemald with Alphanode. They were among the worst affected and still need all the help they can get. You're not gonna go back to the forum, kick your dad out of his seat and take his place? I mean, that should have been obvious. But yeah, I guess you need to heal people first. It won't be easy. An inevitable part of aiding those in need is coming face to face with tragedy. Knowing it doesn't make it any easier, though. That I'll curse my weakness, my inability to fix every problem and save every lost soul. But no matter how much it hurts, I won't give up. I'll do what I can for as many people as I can, begrudging no efforts. And should I find myself discouraged, I'll remember you. Think back fondly to one of your many moments of triumph, and the accompanying determined expression. Even those that still annoy me in retrospect, like when you activated the teleporter without warning. Get that creepy grin off your face, evil twin. And should you hear about me, I want you to remember too. Remember that I'm out there somewhere, trying my very best. Yeah, I look forward to hearing all about the legendary Alice Leveilleur, or they can keep up with a Warrior of Light. You asked for it, so you had better watch out. Oh, yes. What do you got? What else do you need to say? The next time we meet, I'll be vastly improved, so don't be surprised when you find yourself marveling at me. Good luck, you'll need it. Oriange, next is you. With the Final Fantasy IV fanfare. Yeah, hey there, Mr. Two-Face. Rika, thou hast spoken with our comrades. Though this parting be not forevermore, 'tis nonetheless occasion for sorrow. Akin to a pixie's path, the navigation of such farewells is a perilous endeavor indeed. Yeah, what will you do? For their part, however, the Loprits embark upon a new beginning. Well, yeah, they have to go back to the moon? I mean, they can't really use it for its intended purpose. Though bereft of its purpose as a vessel, the moon yet remaineth hospitable for the creatures of Aetheris. Thus do our lunar visitors convene with the Forum, intent upon assigning some new and beneficial role to our solitary satellites. Yet ere that may come to pass, there is much and more each party must learn of the other, a process which doth promise to be eventful indeed. To that end, a cadre of Loprits hath gleefully dispersed across our lands in the name of mutual understanding. Hydaelyn, 'tis said, did imbue them with her love for all things born of this star. And 'tis Renar's own nature, I believe, which doth manifest in this irrepressible, inexhaustible curiosity of theirs. Having witnessed that which they strove to achieve, I wish most keenly for their long labours to be rewarded, that their abiding affection for man results in a boon for all. Moreover, I hope to continue our acquaintance and share in such knowledge as they see fit to impart. But where acquaintance? I call it friendship. But yeah, you are the first to truly understand them. Dost thou think so? Oh yeah. The Loprits are certainly possessed of a unique outlook, and it hath been my pleasure to act as their facilitator upon this star. Mayhap I may yet serve as a bridge betwixt them and our fellow man, as Moonbreeder once did for me. Of course. Alas, but I shall digress no further. This day should belong to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, to mine incomparable companions. Oft times hath mine reticence caused thee grief, and mine actions spurred allies to suspect betrayal. Yeah, a lot. And yet here amongst you I still stand. No amount of words could express my gratitude for thine acceptance and forgiveness. Thus instead, I do proffer my humble support. Be it unto the deepest abyss or the highest heavens, even if I must needs thunder across stormy seas, ever shall I answer thy summons. But we'll still be keeping an eye on you. Who should get my love next? What about you, Thancred? Ah, our champion and savior. I was beginning to think my chance for an audience would never come. Yeah, I guess you gotta take care of Philemon now. Ah, that sounded more amusing in my head. Speaking of heads, I was worried about yours. Might want to worry more about my throat, because it's insanely dry now after streaming for 4 straight hours. But yeah, we're almost there. Speaking of heads, I was worried about yours, and the rest of you for that matter. All the men I trust. Well, we got me out of the armor. Glad to hear it. You were in a bad way, and healing magics or no, I'm impressed by how swiftly you've recovered. Well, if I die, I can just go back to my home Aetherite. Then again, 'tis hardly the first time you've cheated death. Your strength of will has never failed to astonish me. Look at what you've accomplished. Meetyong defeated, her Song of Oblivion cut short, the source, and all her reflections delivered from the final days. At least, the reflections that are still here. If you had faltered at the last, then all hope would have been lost. But you held fast. Now, Reen has a tomorrow to look forward to, and I could ask for no greater gift than that. Yeah, speaking of... As for a lesser gift, however, the next time you see her, I would appreciate you not describing my travel plans with Oriange as aimless wandering. Oh, you're gonna team up with him? We've a purpose in our roaming after all, keeping an eye on things in the absence of the scions on the world stage. There will never be an end to the little problems that go untended by nations. We will do our best to help out where and when we can. Which I suppose is an approach not far removed from aimless wandering, when you get down to it. Perhaps you could tell her I'm faring well, and leave it at that, eh? No need to mention this feeling of being uprooted. I've never been one to stand still for long, but when I think of home, 'tis the rising stones which come to mind. How many times have we set out from this base thence to return when our work was done? On the day when the Scions came together, I only hoped for Minfilia to find a place where she belonged. But never did I expect to find one here for myself. And so, indulge me, Rika. I have a question for you, and imagine Minfilia herself is asking. Are you glad you joined the Scions? Best decision I ever made her. There's never been a dull moment, that's for certain. Well, considering that she was the 5th in the line of my Warriors of Light. Yes. Although I've never thought of myself as a Scion. To be perfectly honest, I always thought of myself as standing alone, yet working with them to a common goal. I can honestly say the same. But all good things must come to an end, at least for a time. Should you need a helping hand for infiltration or reconnaissance, you know who to ask. Or come running and you'll likely get a certain funny-talking fortune teller into the bargain. Is that so? But yeah, I never saw the Warrior of Light as a full-fledged Scion. I always thought of them as working with the Scions, but not actually one of them. Mon frère. Yeah, I am going to... I think I'll miss you most of all. Which is true. Estenian. So, what of you, mon frère? What happens to you now? Where do we go from here? Other than just crossing our arms and having a staring contest. One of us has to say something, you know. If you have something to say, then out with it. You first! Just worried how you'll earn your keep now, or just wondering how I'll earn my keep now. But yeah, what happens to you? You talk as if the Sun's disillusion was more than mere pretense. There may be fewer calls to action, but we should be as compensated as before. Why are you so concerned for me anyway? You're my brother! In any case, I do not want few options, even if some are worse than others. No sooner did Emmerich hear about our disbandment than he offered me a position as a guardsman in the Imperium district. As a former Azure Dragoon, I'm guaranteed to be popular, he said. I don't think the intention is for you to sign a whole bunch of autographs. Who does he take me for? Even without his meddling, I'm perfectly capable of finding employment, and have. Oh, you did? Who are you teaming up with? Some days ago, a Hanish envoy arrived with word from Vitra. The worm requests my presence as soon as things have settled here. Yeah, I can imagine that you would certainly be working well with Vitra. I mean, you definitely did when the final days started to set under the Thavnir. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went back over to Zenith and tried to continue to mend the bridge with dragons like Racevalger. He didn't deign to mention why I'm needed, but it pertains to dragons like as not. In Thavnir, like elsewhere, the phenomena caused by the final days abated when you defeated Meteon. Though it was too late for those who had already transformed, life is beginning to return to normal for the survivors. Of those who sought refuge in Sharlayan, most have already returned home. But many do not have a home to return to, nor loved ones. By an arrangement between Vitra and the Forum, such souls may remain in Sharlayan if they wish to work and study. Vitra is always the satrap in truth. It's gratifying to see him become one in name as well. One who has the complete confidence of his people, if the envoy's tone was any indication. You mean Varshan? Often I find myself speaking favorably of dragons of late. You certainly have come a long way. Not so long ago, I would have assumed his benevolence hid ulterior motives, but it's clear he cares for his people, and they in turn revere him. And so, to know such a nation may flourish is comforting. Vitra's kin sought release from conflicts. So weary were they of the suffering it wrought, they surrendered to oblivion. Yeah, all those we found back over in Ultima Thule. But Midgard Somir didn't give up. In hope he made the journey to distant Aetheris with his clutch of eggs. And through his progeny, went on to be embroiled in conflict with men. There were times when they transcended hatred to abide in harmony. That is their legacy, and their triumph. In my lance, I feel the weight of their struggle, and the strength of their resolve, and it lends me strength. These things I might have never learned had I not joined you. Should you ever have need of me, I will come. At the very least, it'll be an opportunity to earn coin. Yeah, you gotta make a living somehow, mon frere. Gotta do it one way or another. Let's run all the way down here and speak with Ashtola. Yeah, so Master Matoya, what happens to you now? Oh, are we saying our farewells too? I hadn't at present planned on a journey of any great length. You mean you don't want to go back to the first? I know Runar still wants you. Not that I'm averse to a moment or two of quiet reminiscence. In fact, there was something I've been meaning to ask you. Something that has been in my thoughts since the last flames of the final days subsided. And what's that? During our travels, we have witnessed more than a lifetime's worth of oddities and spectacles. More that can be easily recalled or remembered. And nestled amongst those memories are certain essential facts. The history of the Aetheris and the ancients. Glimpses of the Ea, of their culture and philosophy. Rather than simply hold such treasures in my mind, I wonder if I should not be disseminating them in formal records for wider consumption. I'm surprised you haven't already started. Yeah, put all of your books of records in the Great Gooball Library and be done with it. When needed, I have penned reports and prepared briefings, but ever have I balked at the idea of binding the subject of my studies in a book or tablet. Truth is given shape and interpretation. When we seek to capture it with our words, it is invariably molded to fit a narrative, no matter how well intentioned the rendering. An event described as sad, a summation which fails to express the emotional complexity, yet the word on the page is what endures, a pale shadow of reality. Throughout history, some have deliberately embellished the truth, but I believe many, if not most deviations, are the result of similar linguistic shortcomings, piling one upon the other until the end result is unrecognizable from its origin. Which is why I fear that writing an account in my own words will be akin to diluting fine wine with water. Wow, that's quite an interpretation of that. Yet even with the potential for corrupted meaning, I do of course realize the importance of keeping written records. Without them, my search for wisdom would be a painful affair indeed. It certainly would. But what say you on this matter? Should I take up the quill, reflect upon those experiences only we have shared, and seek to preserve them for posterity? You know, we gotta think about this one. It's enough to hold them in your memories. But yeah, you need to put that stuff in the Great Gooball Library there, Ishtola. Because yeah, eventually you're gonna forget all that stuff as you get older. Very well then. I shall endeavor to pen what I can of the Ea, and the ancients, and of so many other wonders. But I am no scribe. It will be a less polished work, and more a reordering of scattered notes. You'll find a way. In any case, I feel much better for having sought your opinion. Left to our own devices, we tend to overthink such things. I will otherwise return to following where my curiosity leads. After all, a safe method of travel to the first yet eludes me, and our venture into the great expanse has prompted an entirely new set of questions. Yeah, we know why you want to go there. Should you stumble into the unknown, or struggle with some impenetrable mystery, know that I am at your beck and call. In your fancy black dress. It never hurts to see things from a different perspective, and mine is rather different than most. It certainly is, Ishtola. It certainly is. Now then, Graha. What happens to you? Yo, Graha. Oh, Rika, might you have a moment to talk? Sure. That's why I'm here. Yeah. We'll be back in a minute there, Coltonay and Hori. What's with the science stepping away from the public eye, I've been left to consider what new endeavors I might pursue. If any. And after speaking with Kral, I've decided I will be assisting her in rebuilding the students of Baldessian. So, no returning to the Crystal Tower for you, huh? Or back to the first and reclaiming your Crystal Exarch title? Yeah, I guess you're leaving that all behind. Not only am I indebted to Master Galoo for giving me a new home, but had our order never existed, I'd have never set foot within the Crystal Tower. How different my life might have been. Yeah, very. I would have never met you, never become caretaker of the tower, never become a scion. You gave me the chance to do so much good, and I hope to continue to do so with the students. For an added benefit, new mysteries often find their way to our doorsteps. Mysteries that could prove ideal for fulfilling our promise, to embark on a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. Yeah, go for it! Whenever you have time and inclination, my friend, I stand ready to accompany you into the unknown. Do you recall in the realm of the Omicrons when I asked if you thought I might someday be mentioned in your epic? While 'tis true that to earn a place at your side would be the stuff of dreams, in the end, nothing would give me greater joy than to stand with you in the here and now. Well, as a fellow Mikote, I would approve of this. It needn't be some grand endeavor, there need be a promise. Whenever adventure calls, I won't hesitate to invite you, and I hope that you will do the same for me. Without a second thought, or as long as you don't overexert yourself. Yeah, we won't hesitate. Also, I'm taller than you are. I've been pondering that for the entire expansion. Is Rika taller than Grahatia? The answer is yes. Yeah, my nose is at the point where his ears start. I'll hold you to that. As much as we've already seen, there's still so much we haven't. Who knows? Perhaps we'll even encounter survivors of the Omicron somewhere out there. After all, given how they took to the stars, it isn't implausible that some found themselves far from home. And should we encounter a wayward traveler awaiting commands that will never come, I would bid them seek adventure with someone, and with that partner, find new purpose, a new dream. For if crystals can hold fast to dreams, why not Omicrons? I guess. Also, can you teach me to use your weapons someday in an expansion? Wherever your plans may lead, do not hesitate to send word, and should a commission of interest come my way, you will be the first to know. Alright, so we covered everyone on this end. Let's get back over here. Looks like Kryle is keeping company with Riol and Alpha Node as well as Vama, who we rarely ever got to meet in this game. Oh, Rika, how are you feeling? Any lingering aches or pains? I'm good. I can't apologize enough for sending Xenos to find you in Ultima Thule. Well, it's not like you could have stopped him. He wanted me one way or another. But yeah, I guess if he didn't, your ass would probably be in the grave. When he came to me in Charlene, I was truly torn. As ever, there was only one thing on his mind. Yep. Forced to make a decision, I reasoned that if he would not be deterred from seeking you out, he might at least aid us in our cause, and so I struck a bargain. In the end, he was true to his word and you defeated him despite your earlier exertions. But knowing the state you were found in, it could have ended very differently. My decision almost cost you your life, and no words could express the remorse I feel. Yeah, I won't lie, I thought that was it for me. Yeah. But yeah, did you really do the right thing?
So did everyone. I'm so sorry, Rika. Time and time again, I've been made to feel woefully inadequate. I wasn't much use in battle, nor can I face the form without my nerves getting the better of me. It always fell to you and the others. I must and will do better. And I shall begin with the restoration of the students of Baltesian. Through our work, Charlene will strengthen its ties with other nations, that we may be better prepared to face whatever threats arise in the future. Of course, this isn't something I can accomplish alone, but thankfully I have the staunchest of help in Raha and Ochika, and our other remaining members. Together, we will continue Grandfather's work. As before, certain commissions will take us to dangerous locales, and we may need to call upon seasoned adventurers. In such times, might you be willing to assist us? Not because you feel obliged, mind you, but because you feel a lure for the task itself.
I believe I can. And if not, I'll send someone else to do it.
Marvelous. Should something of interest arise, I shan't hesitate to reach out to you. Until that day, I shall endeavor to become a more dependable comrade.
And last but not least, Mr. Alphanode. Yeah, as he's finishing up his conversation.
Oh, Rika, pray forgive me for delaying the gathering. I was writing a letter, you see, to my parents. As busy as Father has been, tending the aftermath of the Exodus, he has been good enough to show concern for the Scions.
At long last. Yeah, I'll bet that Emelian's had to basically drive him into the ground to force him to do it.
And besides, I made them worry enough for a lifetime. Henceforth, I will endeavor to write as often as I am able.
Yeah, why aren't you taking your father's place at the Forum?
A little effort to set their minds at ease while we continue to be away from Sharlayan. Both Alice and I are off to assist with Garlemald's recovery, you see. Though uncertainty remains over what will become of the nation, we cannot well leave the capital in its present state.
Yeah, which is exactly why I'm expecting a reconstruction effort similar to what we've seen in other places in other expansions, like with Doma and the Firmaments.
We will rejoin those members of the Ilsabal contingent still stationed there. Lucia and Maxima helm the relief effort, with support from our allies, the people of Garlemald among them. They will gradually be joined by those who have finished treating the temple across the lands. Lest you misunderstand, we do not seek redemption for failing Licinia and her sister. That is a burden we must always bear. Nay, we go because of the truth in Lord Quintus's words.
They hit you that hard?
The truth that, whatever ideals individuals may espouse, nations are not moved to action unless they stand to benefit. For the foreseeable future, the fallen empire will be at the mercy of both internal and external forces. And though I do not doubt the intentions of the contingent, with greater powers involved in the relief effort, our allies may well find themselves drawn into a political agenda. In going, we seek to ensure that the needs of the people come first, to understand their hearts that we might better help them to begin anew.
Yeah, you better write me too!
Write you letters? Of course I would be glad to do so. But I would be gladder still were you to come and visit, and I believe I speak for Alice as well. For fairly as long as I've been in Eorzea, you've been at my side, watching over me in good times and bad.
Yeah, me and all the other warriors of light.
How many times have we gathered to share tidings? None could possibly keep count. The world is changing and will continue to do so, yet no matter what the future brings, I hope that I can ever look to you. In good times and in bad, as a dependable comrade and dear friend both.
You got it.
Thank you, Rika, from the bottom of my heart.
You're quite welcome. Now go find yourself a girl. And so, after having said everything that needs to be said, we have one more thing to do, but I really need to get some water before we bring this finally to a close, so I'll be right back. Alright, I got that out of my system. But yeah, my throat just couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, Tataru, please send us off.
Spoken of Phil, have you? I'm thinking to send everyone off.
Leave the Rising Stones? Yes.
With your permission, then. Your attention, please. At the risk of spoiling the mood, the time for departure is upon us. In my capacity as your receptionist, I bid you all safe journeys. Till next we meet, be well.
And so, with that, we'll take our various rewards. 5,000 gil, an Argos horn, which means we get to ride around on Vanad's fancy glowing dog, a wind-up Herois. Come on, you know who this hero is. Actually, I don't. As well as an Endwalker Footfalls Orchestrion roll and a Flow Orchestrion roll. And with that, an 8-year-long saga, across 5 expansions, is over. And so, later that day, in Mordona at Revenant's Toll, everyone goes their separate ways. Yeah. And as for us,
I suppose we're off to Garlemald then. Though we ought to speak with Lord Emmerich first. If he's received word of any recent developments, we need to know.
'Twould be prudent to purchase some warmer clothes at least. Mayhap we can pick up a few souvenirs for Euless and the others while we're at it.
Where will you all be heading next?
Dravania. There is a book I've been meaning to borrow from the Great Google Library.
make sure to defeat all the enemies along the way.
And I can think of at least one person who will be most displeased should I fail to visit before leaving.
Master Matoya, right?
We've no particular destination in mind, but we do intend to stop in Sharlayan before we set off.
We had thought to ask after the Loporrits. I am curious as to how well those who chose to remain are adapting to their changed circumstances.
Might we accompany you then? Raha and I were planning to return to the Baldessian Annex.
Commissions have been piling up in our absence, and they must be dealt with ere we begin our work in earnest.
Estinian, you will return to Radz at Han, will you not?
Yep, that's where he's going.
Aye. For Vritra's benefit, though I've yet to hear the details. I may not stay long.
I see. Then it is here the Scions at last part ways, each to some far-flung corner of the realm.
Yeah, do the epic pan around of everyone here, including your evil twin. And pan back around to Alpha Node.
Perhaps. But I believe one of our number, a rather important one at that, has yet to divulge her plans.
Who are we talking about? Oh, wait a minute, me?
Quite right.
Indeed.
Fair point.
So, what's next for our humble adventurer?
Well, I know that special events are in store, among other things. Oh, hey, Medion, how are ya? Yeah, she found her way back. Yeah, so I'll just give you some random answer. Yeah, follow that Medion. Out of Revenant's Toll and towards the Crystal Tower. And into the sunsets. The end. Yet stand tall, my friend. Our journey will never end. Meanwhile, a long time ago, in a world far, far away,
The constancy of this place never ceases to amaze me. An ocean of souls, shimmering and eternal.
would this be Elidibus we're looking at?
And yet, something stirs.
Or maybe this could be the planting of the seed of the new saga.
Yes. Steeped in darkness, deep as starless night, the beast hungers. Alas, I dare not investigate in earnest before the coming of my guiding star, as she foretold. We shall descend to the depths, you and I, to confront the dread beast Pandemonium.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, the sights we shall see. The sights we shall see.
Yeah, just a heads up. That particular thing he was talking about was just released a few days ago as of the day I'm streaming this. You have completed the main scenario quest, Endwalker. Quests to unlock new content have now become available in Old Sharlayan. Additionally, you may now enter the dead ends with a party of NPC avatars. Rest well, Champion of Atheris, for many and more adventures await you. That its chorus might ring for all. So yeah, we've just been kicked out. Everyone has been on their way. We're chilling out here in front of the Rising Stones, but you know what? This is where it started. This is where it should end. After all, Tataru's the last one standing. Yeah, only she is here and no one else is. Got anything to talk about?
Oh, you're back. Did you forget something? No. Just want to see how it's faring, you say? Ah, that's so sweet. Rest assured everything is fine. Right now I'm working on a new product that's bound to fly off the shelves. It can get a bit lonely here, but like you, some familiar faces occasionally drop by. In anticipation of such visits, I make a point of keeping the place nice and clean.
I'm sure you will. So yeah, this started, as far as the Let's Play is concerned, over here. This is where Rika was sitting with the Stola and Alice when this Let's Play began. And if I've been counting right, this will be the longest as far as the original main story in terms of an expansion. This will be the most number of episodes I've ever done. I'm expecting something in the lines of 115 to 120. That's how many there are, I believe we are going to get to, because of course I have to take into consideration the fact that I've already uploaded the content for Starlight Celebration. I'll need to include the content for Heaven's Turn, which is Chinese New Year, which starts next week as of the day I'm recording this. Also as well, the introduction of the belated All Saints Wake, which is supposed to take place in October, but if rumors are to be believed, we will see it right after Heaven's Turn. And then, right after that, comes Valentine's Day in February, so we gotta make sure that I get the content out for that too. And if by then I'm still putting out main story for Endwalker, by that time, you could very well see Little Ladies' Day make its way in right near the very end. That's a lot of content that still needs to be put together. That's a lot of content that still needs to be shown off. And of course, don't forget, there's also the new 8-player raid that just came out recently. And of course, when 6.1 comes around, we'll get to see what the new story arc will entail, plus also the introduction to Endwalker's 24-player raid. So, that is what you can expect over the course of the next few months or so here in Final Fantasy XIV. Of course, I encourage you to come join me on Twitch. I know that this has definitely been, for me, as far as sharing with all of you guys, this has been quite a rough time, because most of my loyal viewers wanted me to stay on YouTube, and I couldn't do it. And as much as I encouraged them to try and come join me on Twitch, they just couldn't bring themselves to do so. I miss them dearly, and I really wish they could have come and experienced this journey with me, as those of you who did here tonight. But I can only hope that maybe someday, after they see me putting all this content on YouTube, maybe one day they'll see me come out on Twitch, and maybe they'll actually come and we can live like the good old days like we always used to do, and we'll see how that all unfolds. So, after 19 days, after 30 streams, and many hours, many quests, we've reached the end of the saga. One that started all the way back in the summer of 2013 and culminates now at the tail end of 2021. Thank you to everyone who has come along with me over the course of my time in this particular saga. We'll see what the new one has in store. We'll see what new allies will have in store for us, because yeah, if we don't have any more Scions, the best we can really hope for is to see the various members of them in cameo roles at this point. Aside from maybe Tataru, but I digress. But we'll see what the new journey has in store. But something else I'll also point as well. Tomorrow, we will begin Epilogue play by showing off the first 2 bonus side dungeons at level 90. I haven't had the chance to do them yet, but I'm hoping that you guys will join me tomorrow night, as that's exactly what we'll do. And then after that, it is the long-awaited return of Christmas Chaos 2021, featuring the Pathless. It's something that I was pretty much forced to do when I couldn't gain access to early access, and so I got into that, but I need to keep going. I need to finish that game. And so I hope you'll join me here on Twitch for that as well. And it's definitely going to be continuing to be busy here on this Twitch channel, so please make sure you follow. Please let people know about this channel. Please let them know Twitch, Instagram, any social media you have. It's always encouraged, it's greatly appreciated, and it goes a long way. So, I think I've said all that needs to be said. The only thing that really is left to do now is go back to G-Pose, just like Rika was at the start, and have her just chilling out at the table here in the Rising Stones in Revenant's Toll in Mordona, and just relaxing after a job well done, having completed this saga and having completed the anchor leg of this relay of the Warriors of Light, starting with Edie, culminating with her. I hope all of you have enjoyed it, and I hope to see more of you as we continue on. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker live here on Twitch. See you guys back here tomorrow night when we begin Epilogue content with the 2 new side dungeons. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone. Yeah, I was wondering if I was gonna have to change my line, but yeah, Hydaelyn officially made it that way. Vana made it officially that way as of this evening. May you ever walk in the light.